So today we're looking at the best CDMs. We're going to rank them and we're going to see who should be your holding midfielder, if that's one or two. Let me know down below what you play with, and also what is your midfield pairing like? Is it a trio? Is it a double? What have you got? So we've gone for a good amount of players here. We've kind of gone for a few decent options in terms of the lower end all the way up to the top. Now, straight off the bat, we're obviously looking at the likes of Hullet. Now, Hullet in every scenario is up there. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. You could argue the 90 is not quite in the S+, but the reason why I've put him in, because Hullet is Hullet in every fashion. You just can't get rid of him. The fact at the moment we have now had a brand new evolution that makes him into a 94 is crazy. He is now extinct at 900k. Like, he literally was 400. If you bought like 50 Hullets, you made double the profit just from this one evolution alone. But it makes him into that 94, which is technically just as much as the fantasy. Now, the big difference is, unfortunately, you don't get the 5-5. But realistically, is that much of a problem? So if we look at the difference, so you've got the power header, the incisive pass, versus his double of a finesse shot and power shot. He is a 5-5, and in terms of stats difference, we're actually looking, so we go into the 94, you're looking 3 more pace, 3 more defending, 2 more dribbling, 1 more passing. I mean, the difference in price is absolutely massive. Like, that is absolutely crazy to see when you think that Hullet is, what, like, I want to say he's way in the millions still. 7.9 million. That is just absurd. When you could buy a 900k, he's going to be extinct, so it is what it is. But 900k for an incisive pass master, I think that's the one, 100,000 coins. So 1 million coins to be as close as you can to that 7.8 million. So that, for me, automatically puts him in that S+ for the capability of it. Now, if I'm looking at the 90 Hullet in himself, I'd probably be looking at an S still. I do think he is incredible, and most definitely the 90 could be questioned as well. It's not like he got the biggest upgrade there. It was very, very far and few. He's currently coming in still at 2 mil, but I think that's more based on the supply of him. Like, the demand was there, but the supply just wasn't enough at that point of the game. Like, Centurions was what, the first couple of promos, so it was one of them where it's like, he's gonna be a bit expensive because he just wasn't packed enough. And it kind of goes the same for the 94 as well. It's one that was just very difficult to get. We have obviously got Marquez as well. Very easy option for Marquez, 90 rated, incredible. We absolutely love him. I don't think he goes into the S+ now. Maybe as a centre-back, he could still be considered in that top category. As a CDM, I think he's very, very good, but I wouldn't go as kind of top as I would in a centre-back sort of thing. We also have a few of the other players, like, for instance, Grace. Grace, unfortunately, was a great card, but the one problem she lacked is she was a 3-5 or a 5-4. You could go with the 2 different versions, and as much as I love the FUT birthday, I just think at that point in the game, when we're getting so close to team of the season, having a 3-star weak foot or a 3-star skiller as a CDM may not be the worst thing in the world, but you know full well the options that are coming next. Unfortunately for her, that one really just stank. I personally don't think that card is anything anymore. Whereas you look at someone like a Chouameni, or obviously a Casemiro. Cas was one that we was waiting for. We did get the lovely winter wildcard that was a striker, and then we got the big upgrade into the 5-5 with him. Even though stats are not necessarily crazy, you've got the 91 defending, the 90 physical, you go with something like a Shadow, you're pretty happy with that. 97 defending, 91 pace, it's a decent card. Long ball pass and also the bruiser does make him a 92 CDM, but this is where the levels come into it, because then we look at the team of the seasons and you look at the comparison between him and like Zachariah. They're just incredible how different a 3-week period can be in the game, going from one standard promo. I know we had, it was Foot Birthday. Was it Fantasy after Foot Birthday, actually? Because I know we had Galazzo after that. I can't remember if it went Foot Birthday, then Galazzo, or Foot Birthday. Yeah, so it did, in fact. So it went Foot Birthday, then Galazzo. Then we went into Team of the Season. So I feel like Future Stars started to kick off the upgrade. Fantasy took it to a new level. And then Foot Birthday was decent, but it's predominantly skill move, weak foot. And then we went into Galazzo, which was great for hero and icons. And then we went into the Team of the Season, which just took it to that next level. Like, we look at a Rodri, we look at a Rice. They are phenomenal in their own right. I don't ever question them. 96 rating, the pair of them. You could argue you could go with either of them because they are literally the same card. It's crazy. Other than a skill move difference, a little bit of a playstyle plus, then it's the pace and shooting. Everything else is the same. Like, you've got the same passing, same dribbling, same defending, and same physical. And I think Rodri is technically 2 inches taller. Rice is coming in at 302, whereas Rodri's coming in at 825. That's mainly because Rice is in the Ultimate Team of the Season, whereas Rodri isn't. So it's very weird. It kind of makes me think, is Rodri going to get something in the Euros? I know we've been leaked that we're getting Path to Glories. I would have thought it would be trying to go with players that are not in the Team of the Season, but at the same time, we've already got an end of an era Royce SBC literally 3 weeks after he's got himself a Team of the Season, and it's only a 1 upgrade. And there is leaks, apparently we are looking at a 4 playstyle plus. Whether that's true, I don't know if it's going to be an upgrade and then Footies will bring the 4 playstyles, but I did think that we would get the 4th. Yaya Toure. Now, but to be fair, I haven't put these here. Tchouaméni is obviously going in the S. Zachariah going in A+. I think Tchouaméni has just got a bit more round game to him. Yaya Toure, now we've dealt with that. You've obviously got the 3 different versions. I've only included the first two, well, the last 2, because realistically now, the 87's okay, and you could probably get a decent evolution out of him, but I'd rather go for 1 up at least. He hasn't got no playstyle pluses on that 87, whereas the 88, because of that incisive passer as well, we can only choose 1, can go to the 93. Now, he is going to be a 4-star, 5-star, as we know, or it could be a 92, in fact, because unless you've got Unleashing Potential still rocking about, which I doubt most people have. Again, another great upgrade for him in terms of the difference between the 91. Now, I think the 91 is not that expensive. I know he's in an SBC. He currently can't be into a evolution. Whether we see that over the next couple of weeks could be an interesting one, because the big thing with him is he's not going to be based in the Euros. So the only time we're going to see a Yaya upgrade is going to be in the Footies or Shapeshifter, whatever comes after the Euros. So it's going to be a wait for him. We're going to see a lot of the Euro cards. So when we look at the heroes, you're going to be looking at the likes of a Berbatov, El Waran. I don't know. I didn't question it, but I was like, Saudi Arabia, of course, I'm thinking of the World Cup. But obviously you got El Waran, Villali could be in it. Tevez is not, unless they do some Copa d'America. That's not been leaked, so I'm assuming it's just Euro stuff. You've got, obviously, Francescoli, Harry Kewell. There's a lot of players here that are not in the Euros. So they are going to have to wait, and they more than likely will be part 2 of the upgrade of the heroes, because they vitally need it now with that triple playstyle plus. So could we see an upgrade for Yaya, or is it going to be based around Euro evolutions as well? That's going to be the big factor here. But like we saw with the Incisive Passmaster, it didn't matter what nation he was. So it will be interesting to see. Now, in terms of Yaya's form, with the evolution, I think that 88 goes up here. I think he's dropped down a little bit, kind of like Hullet. It's the name that's carrying him a little bit now. I do think he's slightly come under. Once we again get the upgrade, he's going to be back to the best, and he still is as dominant as ever. But with the cards that we've got, I would definitely choose a Rice or Rodri now over Yaya Toure 100% of the time, especially with the SBC out. It just shows what relevance he has, because if he was that good, so if you put a Team of the Year R9 up, but then you've got the likes of Mbappe that are better, you've got the Vinny Team of the Season, if you don't see R9, you know full well the demand is just not there for him. Yaya Toure is an SBC that is affordable, and he's still not in people's teams. So it kind of gives you that telltale sign. Same for Ramirez, another great card. He probably can have an upgrade as well, actually. I know I don't think I've included any of his because he only got an 87 hero before this. Just wasn't good enough in my opinion. Granted, he could go to the 91 because that's going to be unleashing potential again. Again, it's not a bad card. I mean, it's most definitely a little bit of a downgrade in comparison to the 92. Same weak foot and skill move, which is nice. But I do think with Ramirez, he's another one that could be fantastic with that right evolution or right upgrade in the game. We then have a Rice Fantasy. To be fair to him, I think that's still a cracking card to get. It was a big upgrade. I was very shocked to see him get such an upgrade into a team of the season as well, especially going from the 87, into the 93. Then we got the 96, was just another one. Now, obviously, in terms of price, it makes sense to go for the team of the season. You're not going to go for the 218k 93 rather than a triple playstyle plus with a lovely boost on him. It doesn't make sense, but to be fair to him, that card is still a very good card. And arguably, if you like the anticipated intercept, it's a great combination to have on a CDM. We then also have the trio of Tomori, Ramos, and Rudiger. I love this free. Honestly, it was just the epitome of what EA do. We had a fire centre-back between all of them, and then a CDM ice between all of them. It's great. I love it because it's all different leagues, bar from Real Madrid, bar from La Liga. 2 different leagues. We carry on. And Ramos definitely came out on top there. For me, I would be looking something like that. They're not very relevant in the game now. I think all of them, bar from Tomori, have another upgrade. I think Tomori could have had an evolution as well for his base version, but he has only got the technical free versions. 4 versions, in fact. He's got a Centurions also. Can that be upgraded? Can the CDM be upgraded? It can. Ooh. Okay, maybe a bit different then. So you can go for the 93, which would be the unleashing potential. So you would be looking at the 92. 3-star, 5-star. Jockey incisive. I mean, it's not a bad card. It's not a bad looking card, but to be fair to him, the big problem that I had with Tomori and Rudiger in that position was they just were so bulky. Whereas Ramos is kind of that lean build, it translates into the game really well. Rudiger, Tomori are big centre-backs that just are blocking. That's just how some centre-backs are, so they don't filter into that CDM role very well. It's the same as Mascherano, wherever he is. I don't even know where he is. Oh, there he is. He's a card that obviously can play centre-back, and I think as a centre-back, he's okay, but he translates even better into that CDM role. Now, I'm not saying he's crazy because most definitely, he's definitely needed an upgrade, and whether we see that anytime soon, very much like the rest of them, is not going to be in the Euros. Now, his 88 can be upgraded because of obviously that incisive pass master, so he can get to the 92 with obviously, 93 if he goes for the unleashing potential, which is just going to be an okay card. I would much rather look at that Hullet, to be fair. If you're looking at a big card, Hullet's going to be the one for it. Because when you look at the levels that you can go here, there's some absolutely monstrous cards that you can go for. Hullet's going to be one of the big ones there. JJ Okocha's going to be a nice one. You've even thrown in a few wingers there. Ian Wright's one. Janola's another great one. So it's not all based around midfield as well. So it's already there. And also Valverde, another great card that you can go for. So it isn't just as easy as saying all of these CDMs are going to be the ones to get it, because predominantly it's going to be better as well for the box-to-box sort of style. If we then carry on, we've obviously got Lahm. I think he's a great CDM. I'm not a big fan of him as right back, to be honest. Him and also Petit. I know Petit and Rijkaard technically got the CDM version, especially Petit being the right back already. Was he a right back already, or was it left back? I can remember the free versions. Was he? Oh no, he was already a CDM in this game. I'm just thinking of the seasons before. Normally, he's kind of got the base version as a left back, and I just don't like it. It's the same as Lahm. He plays so much better in the midfield. Same as Desai as well. I think he's much better in that CDM, but he doesn't have a card that can do it as of yet, or at least a card that's warranting worth looking at. So if I was looking at him, I'd probably go more to the A+. I think Rijkaard and Petit now are just coming slightly under, in my opinion. Vieira is an easy one up the top. I think he's still keeping his own really well. Now, I don't know if he could be upgraded, in fact, because he's got to be around the right level, to be fair to him. So we look at his 88. That should fit it. So it'll unleash your potential 93, 92 with a pass master, but it's a 3-star, 4-star. It's not the greatest by the looks of it. So it is going to be predominantly that team of the year rather than anything. And he did get the 4-4 upgrade, which was enough. And I think in terms of him, once we get the Euro bonus, if he's not in the Euro upgrade, he probably would be looking at an S. There's going to be even more cards that are better, especially icons with the triple play star plus, or even a quadruple if that's an upgrade to it. Stanway, I think Stanway is another great card. Lovely fantasy. Unfortunately, compared to Rice, she didn't get the upgrade that I think she kind of deserved there. I feel like she should have at least been a double upgrade on top, because even though, yes, you are getting the triple play star plus, she's a 4-4. Stats-wise, it's literally 2 across the board. It's better than the 1, so we'll say that, which is pretty obvious. 4-star, 5-star. She got the triple, some decent playstyle pluses, so I do think her 94 definitely comes in a little bit better, but I wouldn't say it was a crazy upgrade for her. The biggest thing is the fact that she's cheap on both, so that's always a nice one to get. We then also have the 2 different Contes. I thought I got rid of the 91, to be fair, because that one is now totally irrelevant, especially when you got 210k for the 94. So I think in terms of an upgrade, it's a pretty self-explanatory one, really. Conte for me is absolutely incredible. I'd say the 91 now probably come in at a... Would I go low? I'd probably go a low A, nearly into the B+, but he does have a good body type for it, but he definitely is coming in at the lower end now. Xabi Alonso, another fantastic one. We got obviously the objective and then also the 93. I'd kind of put him similar to that. Whereas like Vidic was very good in both versions, and the second one, so the 90 I think, or the 91. Had the chance to go Galazzo show, which was always nice, but he had the better playstyle pluses. Whereas I think with Xabi Alonso, it's very similar across the board with him. He's got the long ball and intercept on his 93, and then you've got the long ball and intercept on the 90. So there isn't really too much to add to that. You've got a 4-4 versus the 4-4 as well. Oh, I thought it was 4-5. So it is just the upgrade of the stats, which, to be fair to him, it's just a double upgrade, but I do think it's enough to warrant that rating up. Absolutely love Grace. She's incredible. I don't need to talk about her too much because she just rocks it every single time. She's kind of on the cusp of being a box-to-box because of the rating being so high. Same as kind of like the Rice and Rodri. Their stats are very, very up there. Obviously, Rice's shooting's not quite as good, but whereas we look at Rodri with the 85, it's good enough to be a box-to-box because they don't have to shoot. They can just be that passing ball carrier. With Grace, I think she's fantastic at doing that as well. When we look at the 2 road to the finals then, 2 big ones in Kimmich and the Champions League winner Kroos. We've obviously got Kimmich coming in at a 4-4. Didn't get no other upgrade, so I am expecting a Path to Glory or a Euros for him. I just can see that happening easily. Is a decent card, but to be fair to him, I think he's fallen off a little bit. I really don't rate him as much as what we could do in this sort of category. Whereas I think with Kroos, even though he's kind of more box-to-box now with the upgrade, I still think that's a brilliant card. He's got the 5-5, anticipate, pinged pass, long ball. And to be fair, the shooting has definitely taken the upgrade. He was sold as a DM. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He was well worth the money. And to be fair, we did have him. I was going to say, I know the first week he was like 3 million, 2.7. He then got all the way up to 3... Was that... where's the... Oh, no, it's here. He got up to 3.8. In his lowest, dropped to 1.2, and then now is kind of casually looking at about 1.7 to 1.5, give or take, and that's just natural progression. That unfortunately is the problem with the road to the finals. Once you get to the semis and the finals, you're in team of the season territory. So unless you've got literally like a KDB, a Haaland, and Mbappe, it doesn't matter who they are massively. There's going to be a better card out there at some point. The only kind of good thing for Kroos and Kimmich is they didn't have that upgrade, which can be either a blessing or a curse. But both of them could potentially get Euro cards. Whether we see Germany do really well, it will be interesting. It's quite funny that they're both German also. Just 2 SBCs that have managed to go quite far. We then also have Essien. Yeah, I did get rid of the 91. Nice card. I think he's definitely up there in terms of it. I'd probably go him above the rest, whether I'd say the SBC is actually worth it, it's kind of a different category. I think with SBCs now, I'd probably be just waiting for the Euros. If you've not finished any of the kind of long-standing ones, the R9, the Ronaldinho, Miaham's gone, but then we look at Yaya, Lucio, I'd probably say just wait till the Euros. Now, save the fodder. At this point, you know that the next batch is coming. We're going to get Euro Icon SBCs. We're going to get Path to Glory SBCs. And there's going to be loads of things in packs. So you might as well just kind of give the hold off at the moment and just see what comes out. Busquets. Love Busquets. He's just so unique in a card. His passing is outstanding. A triple playstyle plus passing orientated. He's very, very cheap. I do think he's kind of in that more higher category of an A+. I don't know if I'd quite go S. I think he's very good at what he does. In terms of passing, he's S+. Like, there's no better. But in terms of a whole game, I think he's very good. But realistically, stats-wise, he's just as good or a little bit better than Zachariah. But I'd probably take Stanway, Conte. I'd probably take a Ramirez and a Yaya over him. I think it's just the gimmick of the 99 is up there. Benessa, it's quite an easy one. He's kind of at the bottom end now, really. The problem is would I take him over a Xabi Alonso, wouldn't I? Maybe I'm being too lenient with that Xabi Alonso, to be fair. I really like the 93, but I don't know if I'm just being too lenient there. Stanway's still good. Kimmich is still good. Yaya, I could even drop him down, to be fair to him. I think it's the evolution that's holding him up. Yeah, I'll keep him there because I think body type for him is what really carries. It's the same with Hullet. You could have an 87 Hullet and still be phenomenal because of the body type. And it might not be that he's an S, but he definitely would still come under the category rather than being left off the list. We then also have Makalele. I put him pretty much neck and neck with Essien. Both are very, very similar in their own right. Kamenvinga, great card. I think for him, he puts himself on the map. He's only a 93 as well, which is very impressive with what he can do in the game. Sissoko wasn't really a fan, to be honest. I thought he was okay. I just think the problem we have is, and especially for myself included, we remember past cards. That's going to be the biggest thing for Sissoko, is that he's just living in the past. Why can't? Oh, there we go. He's just living in that last generation for us. The 92 before. Obviously, you got the 94 footies, the 94 summer heat. We kind of started him off at Spurs with the 88. I'm kind of wanting that card back, and it just doesn't live up to the expectations. Capu, very similar. Great upgrade for a team if you've not got the best CDMs, the best midfielders, and he is very, very cheap because of that. But I don't think he's that good that I'd say I'd want him over a majority of these players. Xhaka, exactly the same. To be fair, he does go there. He's just very much there, unfortunately. He's had a great season, and in real life, decent, but FIFA-wise, it's just not happening. And then Oberdorf, I'd kind of consider her as an S+, but I think with everybody else catching up, we had, obviously, the Team of the Year. She was brilliant. She's one-of-a-kind CDM. We obviously had Rodri, but there was nobody else on that level. Now we've got a lot of players that are up there. I don't think she's as unique as what we saw with the Team of the Year, and that's absolutely fine. That's progression. She's still a very good card, and to be fair to her, how much is she coming in at? I know she dropped in price massively from, obviously, why am I trying to spell it like that? She's got the Team of the Season coming in at 345, 162 for that lovely Team of the Year, but I do think she's kind of now at the point of peak of where she kind of sits on that list. But that is going to be everybody. Let me know down below what you think about them. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I'll catch you all tomorrow or later on for the next video. Peace.